What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Prince YouTube PS Compulsion signing in here, aka Prince Anthony. And if you guys missed the last episode, bro, you guys gotta go back and watch it ASAP. Not only did we get a new head coach in Mike D'Antoni, but the Washington Wizards finally let us trade for Bradley Beal. And it's about time, bro. I've been trying to get him since the first episode of this series, and I knew the Washington Wizards would be willing to give me Bradley Beal for the right offer, because I opened up the trade finder and they were willing to give me John Wall. So of course they had to be willing to give me Beal. If they were willing to give me John Wall, they're probably going to undergo a rebuild, which is realistic because the Washington Wizards really need to rebuild their squad. Like, they really need a rebuild. They need me to help them rebuild their squad, but since they don't got me, I don't know who's gonna help that team out. But speaking of helping out teams, although we traded for Bradley Beal, things still have not been going the best for us, because as of right now, we're 12-35 for the NBA season so far. We are on an 8-game losing streak, and to put things into perspective, we are the worst team in the entire NBA, the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Just the worst. We're at the bottom, bro. We're really at the bottom of the NBA. But we might be able to end our losing streak, because up next we are going to be facing off against the Washington Wizards in a nationally televised game. And the reason this game is nationally televised is because Bradley Beal will be returning to Washington to face off against his former team. That game should definitely be lit, and it should be a pretty easy win, to be totally honest with you guys. I mean, looking at the roster that the Washington Wizards have, they have John Wall, Troy Brown Jr., Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, but a good amount of their players are actually injured. I mean, Kent Bazemore, who we included in the deal to get Bradley Beal, he has a dislocated left patella. He's out for 4 to 6 months, bro. Like, no Kent Bazemore, no JJ Redick, no CJ Miles. Come on, bro. This has to be an easy victory for us. We should be able to end our losing streak right here, right now. But before I get to that game, Marvin Williams is still injured somehow. He should have been healed from his injury. Same thing for PJ Washington. He's injured. And the only power forward that we have on our squad at the moment is Jay Crowder. And the only issue with that is Jay Crowder just came back from injury. So we need another backup big man, or preferably another backup power forward. Now, I was trying to sign Carmelo Anthony, but the issue with that is he wants a 1-year, $15 million deal. And we don't have no cap space for that, bro. Like, Melo, you want to come back into the NBA, you should be willing to take any amount of money I'm willing to give you, bro. So since I'm not able to get Carmelo Anthony, I was thinking maybe Luka Baamute wouldn't be too bad of a pickup. I mean, one thing that we really need right now is defense, and Luka Baamute would be an excellent pickup defensive-wise. We don't need any more offense on our squad. Like, we have a lot of offense. We really need defense. Luka Baamute will be the perfect pickup, and the best part about signing him is he's fine with a minimum contract, bro. Carmelo, take notes if you want to come back into the NBA. So right now, our second unit is looking pretty decent. We got Trey Burke. I'm also going to be giving Ish Smith some minutes. Then we still got Malik Monk, Miles Bridges, Luka Baamute, and Thomas Welsh. Our second unit, like I said, isn't bad at all. But at the same time, this second unit is not going to win us a lot more games. But hey, it does help having a lot of depth since our power forwards are injured right now. But since we are the worst team in the NBA, I decided to check the mock draft list. And the mock draft have us going number 1 overall in the NBA draft. We are projected to have the number 1 overall pick because we are the worst team in the NBA right now in the NBA draft, which is pretty good. More than likely, we're going to end up like top 3 at least. Something tells me I'm not going to get the number 1 pick. I never do. And the number 1 draft pick right now, or projected draft pick, is Jeffrey Woods. And Jeffrey Woods is a power forward, which is exactly what we need on this squad. Imagine drafting him, have him in the starting lineup, and then have Jay Crowder coming off the bench behind him. That would be that's pretty ideal, to be honest. But looking at Jeffrey Woods, he seems to be a pretty good big man. He's averaging 28 points per game and 8 rebounds in college. That is pretty good. He's 23 years old, and his overall right now is an A-. Hopefully, as time goes by, the scout could unlock like an actual overall for him, because I want to see his actual overall, just not like an A-, a B, B+, stuff of that nature. I want to see an actual number rating. And even if we wasn't to get Jeffrey Woods with the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, if he was to fall to like 2nd or 3rd place, that might not be too bad, because if you look at all these projected draft picks, a lot of these prospects have overalls of B+, meaning they should not be that bad at all. There's like at least 10 people with a B+ rating. Even if we don't get the #1 pick, we should still be fine with one of those other players. A lot of them are small forwards or power forwards, which is what we need, a better power forward, so we definitely should be lit. Now, it's time for the big game, nationally televised game, as you see Bradley Beal pulling off the bus looking fresh AF, as we get ready to face off against the Washington Wizards, as Bradley Beal returns to Washington to face off against his former team. And for the starting lineup, it is the same as always: Terry Rozier, Gary Harris, Bradley Beal, Jay Crowder, Willie Hernangomez. And the Washington Wizards starting lineup does not look that good at all. At least Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is in the starting lineup for the Washington Wizards. But before this game starts, I actually figured out a way to change the difficulty, which was one of the biggest problems everybody was having with Mygm 2.0 this year. Basically, once you unlock all the coach settings by having your coach's morale and trust high, you're going to unlock game sliders as well. So before any game that you want to play, all you have to do is go down to game sliders and change it to Hall of Fame. And by doing so, you're changing the difficulty to Hall of Fame difficulty, because I think the default sliders is at Pro. So this entire time, I was playing on Pro difficulty. No wonder I was winning. So if you guys want to change the difficulty to Hall of Fame, that's all you gotta do. Change the game sliders and you'll be lit. But anyways, getting into this game, we came out swinging, bro. We was lit. In the first quarter, Bradley Beal was knocking down shots. We were getting anything that we wanted to inside. We were playing some perfect team basketball. I thought this game was going to be a breeze. I mean, Willie Hernangomez throwing down jams. We were doing very, very well. But then in the second quarter, at least to start the second quarter, things was going pretty well to start. Luka Mbamute getting the easy shot to go over IT. But then all of a sudden, my team stopped playing inside defense. I mean, this play got me so upset. I threw the ball in, I turned it over, and literally the AI ran right past the guy driving to the basket, and then all of a sudden it turned into a layup line for the Washington Wizards. They were literally getting anything that they wanted in transition, even on regular plays, bro. They were just driving to the basket and they were getting all of their shots to go. And then all of a sudden I was not able to score anymore, bro. Like, the lead blew up, and all of a sudden they put the clamps on me as well. Look at this defense. John Wall is playing on Bradley Beal, forcing me into a bad shot as the shot clock went down. I still ended up scoring on the possession, but it did not matter because the Washington Wizards just started playing lockdown defense out of nowhere. They kept on scoring. They were hitting difficult shots. Now I know how hard Hall of Fame difficulty is definitely going to be for a squad like this, at least, because of course our squad isn't that good. We're the worst team in the NBA, but we did try our hardest to make a comeback. Bradley Beal was putting the team on his back, started knocking down three-pointers, started driving to the basket, throwing down jams. The dude was going off, trying his best to bring us back into the game, but at the end of the day, it did not matter at all. They knocked down 2 huge three-pointers in the fourth quarter, and that was it. That was game. We could not stop them from scoring. We couldn't get stops. And our offense wasn't really the best this game, as Bradley Beal knocks down a huge shot at the end of the fourth quarter. Sarcasm, because that shot didn't matter. The game was already over. So we take another L, this time losing the nationally televised game to the Washington Wizards. I was expecting this to be an easy W, but it definitely wasn't. We were not able to get the W, and I think this is like our 9th L in a row, which is not good at all. Looking at the box score, Troy Brown Jr. balled out for the Washington Wizards. I should have tried to trade for him or include him in the Bradley Beal trade. And speaking of Bradley Beal, he was the leading scorer for us this game, as you guys would expect, putting our team on his back, but it did not matter. We still took the L, but nonetheless, the trade deadline is a week away. I want to make at least one more move, and that move is to definitely get rid of Marvin Williams. I wanted to trade him for the longest while, but he keeps getting injured, bro. Like, he really keeps getting injured, and it's really upsetting me too, because every time I want to trade him, he gets injured. I want to get rid of him. His injury has upgraded to a day-to-day, so hopefully by the time the trade deadline rolls around, he has fully healed from his injury and will be able to trade him, bro. But speaking of injuries, one thing that I realized is that this season, a lot of our players have been getting injured, and it's been pretty lengthy injuries at that. So I decided to look at my trainer. His trust is all the way down. His morale isn't really that high, but looking at his stats ain't high either. So bro, you definitely gotta go. Maybe with a better trainer, it would definitely help with the injuries on our squad and help our players not get injured as frequently, and then on top of that, maybe heal from their injuries a lot quicker. So I decided to fire our trainer, get him out of here. Now I decided to sign Sean Lee. His training is a B+ and his potential is an A+, and on top of that, he has the fitness guru badge, which means players are going to get less tired during games, which is one thing that this team really needs, because when playing the actual games, my players get tired extremely fast. So I decided to sign him, and the best part about signing him is that he wants less money than the other trainer that we just fired, and we get him for 4 years, and his stats are way better, and his potential is better as well. So welcome to the squad, Sean Lee, our newest trainer. But now before we get to the trade deadline, the Raptors, they offered us a trade. Let's see what they have to offer. If it's not Fred VanVleet, I do not want it. And looking at this underwhelming offer, they want Gary Harris and Malik Monk for Serge Ibaka and Patrick McCaw. Now, in theory, we do need a better big man on our squad, but giving up Gary Harris and Malik Monk as of right now, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense rotation-wise for our squad. So I was like, no, nah, I'm not taking that deal. No thank you, I do not want it. But now is the moment of truth. We finally arrived at the trade deadline, and we also ended our losing streak, so at least we got a W along the simulation. But check this out, Marvin Williams is still injured, meaning we won't be able to trade him. Words cannot describe how upset I am that Marvin Williams is going to be on this team for the rest of the season. Like, we really could have traded him for at least a second-round draft pick or something. His trade value is 2 stars, so we could have gotten something for him, bro. Something, or at least another good player. Now he's going to walk in free agency for nothing. That is very upsetting. And since I couldn't find a trade for Marvin Williams, I decided I'm going to stand pat at the trade deadline. I'm not going to make any more trades. I mean, I can't find any more trades that I'm willing to take or accept, so that is it for trading for us this first season. We made a lot of moves. We were able to get Bradley Beal, Gary Harris. We were able to still keep our first rounder for this upcoming NBA draft. So we are pretty lit going into the offseason, to be totally honest with you guys. And also, getting past the trade deadline, the team doesn't really look that bad at all. I mean, we got a pretty young squad. We got an all-star in Bradley Beal, who also did not make the all-star game. But hey, let's talk about that another day. We have a good head coach in Mike D'Antoni. We locked him down for a few years. So we have a lot of good pieces on this squad. The question is, this offseason is really going to make or break us. But this squad is looking pretty good. Up next is the All-Star break. I am going to watch Miles Bridges in the dunk contest if he makes it. Still got to wait on the voting to see if he actually makes it into the dunk contest. But he was in the top 5 in terms of votes for All-Star weekend, the dunk contest. So hopefully he makes it in. But nonetheless, our squad is looking pretty good. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you once again for watching. This is the Prince of YouTube, signing out.